Shalom, everybody. Good evening from Jerusalem. Jerusalem Jane coming to you here on a chilly evening. And I'm just going to wait a little bit to see if anybody is going to sign on. It's not that often, actually, that I'm doing live videos. It is not that often that I'm doing live videos here on my page, but I just decided that why not try? Let's see if people are signing off. I can see a couple of people are signing off. Jerusalem Jane coming to you. I wanted to give you an update on what's going on here in the Holy Land regarding rockets that's flying in, regarding coronavirus that's going on. And can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and if you can see me? That would be amazing. At least there's one thumbs up, so that's good. So guys, let me just start by saying this morning, two terrorists put down an explosive device on the Gaza border, on the fence going into Israel, and that area is so surveillanced. I mean, a cockroach could start doing a tango, and the IDF will know about it because there are so many cameras. Nothing happens there that they don't know. So two terrorists approached the border fence into Israel, and they put down an explosive device. And when you do that, you attack a sovereign nation. This is an attack on Israel. Israel has every right to thank you for letting me know there's a good sound and video. So Israel took out those two terrorists, plain and simple. Enough is enough. And then I saw videos from inside Gaza, because then people were running out, and they of course they're furious that Israel took out those two terrorists, because in their eyes they're not terrorists. So they are running to try and retrieve the bodies of these dead terrorists. And Israel managed to get a hold of one of these terrorists, and while this is going on, they shoot in the knees of some of these other people. So one of the fighters that Israel retrieved the body of, so they were out saying there's going to be revenge. We are even going to try and attack Tel Aviv. About an hour ago, on my phone, the red alert, bang, 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 bang. And in less than 15 minutes, 21 rockets were fired into Israel from the terrorists inside the Gaza Strip. And one more time, all the people living in that area was running for their life. Can you imagine being an old grandma sitting on the third floor and have to get down, and you have 20 seconds before a rocket is flying? It's impossible. Or you have 5 children and you got to grab a hold of all of your children. It's impossible. And that's the reality for people living close to the Gaza border. So that's the reality, and people are really traumatized. You can't even begin to imagine how traumatized they are. So during the day, the Israeli Defense Forces have moved around some of the Iron Dome missile defense system, because they were anticipating that there would be some sort of retaliation. So out of those 21 rockets, the Iron Dome system took down 10. And the last I saw was that nobody was injured in this, but it's deeply, deeply traumatizing. So the Prime Minister of Israel is right now in a meeting at the IDF headquarters, where he's speaking to the leaders, the generals in the IDF, and they deciding but they are deciding on what response are we going to do into Gaza. So that's what's going on regarding all of this today. Coronavirus, yes, isn't it this just awful? It's spreading in the whole world. So let me just get rid of something here. We all know there was a cruise ship in Japan, and so many people got the coronavirus. And there were 15 Israelis on that ship, and 4 of them were tested positive, and they are now in a hospital and tested negative, and they were allowed to fly back to Israel just for the first person to be sick less than 5 hours after touching ground in Israel. So they are all at a safe location. They are at a special uh, wing in a hospital here in Israel. But what happened here that was breaking news, and it's awful, 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 awful. A big group of tourists from South Korea, a lot of Catholics who are coming to the Holy Lands, they were here in Israel and they returned back home. And 9 of those people from one group, from the north to the south, from the east to the west, they were all over Israel. And now every single person that they were in a close to could possibly be affected with the coronavirus. This means that 200 school children, high school children, students here in Israel has been put under house arrest, in quarantine, in their house, not allowed to leave for the next 2 weeks. And you have to remember, when they are put under house quarantine, there's parents, their siblings. It's absolutely awful. They went to the cave of the patriarch in Hebron. All the soldiers who was in the cave when they were there praying, they have now been released. They are sent home, house arrest, under quarantine for the next 2 weeks. The hotel that we're staying at in Jerusalem, all the people who are working at the hotel cleaning their rooms, sent home in quarantine. Right now there are 1,400 tourists from South Korea here in Israel that are now being confined in all the hotels they're staying at, and 200 of them was selected by the military to be put on lockdown in an army base in one of the suburbs here in Jerusalem. Except the people living there are saying, forget about it. You are not bringing people who could have the coronavirus to my part of the city. Are you crazy? So last night a plane arrived from South Korea, and Israel said, you are not coming into our country. There were 12 Israelis on that plane, and they were being picked up by the ambulance service here in Israel. All the workers were covered in masks and gloves and everything, and they took all of them to their house and said, you're going to be confined here for the next 2 weeks because we need to know if you're bringing home the virus. So it's awful, awful, awful. So South Korea are furious because Israel is saying, we don't want you people into our country, and the people who is already here, leave. So it is just absolutely crazy. So here's the latest thing. If you live in South Korea or you live in Japan, you are not welcome in Israel. You're not even going to get off the plane. They're sending you right back. If you live in Australia, if you're coming from Australia, so many are getting sick. The situation. Benjamin Netanyahu had a meeting with the health ministry and everybody this morning. So hundreds of people have been isolated in their homes now because they were close to all of those from South Korea. Israel is also saying to all the Israelis, please don't travel to Japan. Please don't travel to South Korea. Don't go to Italy. So this is really, really crazy. I had to go downtown. Some of you, I'm still recovering from this whole crazy operation I had in my mouth, but excuse me, and I had to go downtown today. And coming out of the bus, the first thing I see is 2 people wearing masks. I was like, what now? And I gotta tell you, I had decided, if I see tourists that looks like they're from Japan, I'm gonna cross the street. I don't want to be close to them. And we just have to be careful. You gotta do what you gotta do. So that's the situation right now, that Israel is closing for some countries, and Benjamin Netanyahu was saying today there might be other countries depending on how all of this is playing out. So this is very, very serious. But at the same time, we can't live in fear. You can't just stay, you cannot not go anywhere. We can't live in fear. So yeah, just Jerusalem Jane signing off. I wanted to give you this update. Just excuse me, I just made 2 live videos on my Instagram and on my Facebook. So now I don't have much voice left and it hurts a little bit to talk because of the nerve damage I have here. So if you care about me, would you keep me in prayers? I have nerve damage here in my chin and in my lip from that awful tooth extraction that went horribly wrong, and then I needed to have surgery to fix it. So it's just been awful. That's why I haven't been working the last month. I had to recover from all of this. So it actually hurts for me just to talk. So just pray for this whole situation with the coronavirus. It's just, I mean, the countries surrounding Iran just closed all of their borders because who knows how this is gonna end. So thank you for watching this video. Pray for all the people who is living close to the Gaza border. Uh, they might have to spend the night in bomb shelters. Who knows? It's no way of living because these terrorists inside of Gaza just feel like they can fire a rocket whenever they feel like it. So there will be retaliation from Israel tonight. Like I said, Netanyahu is in the headquarters of the IDF right now, and they are deciding they're deciding what response they're gonna do. So Israel will retaliate during the night. So I will keep you updated on all of these things. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Bye.